Hello, crew. How are you? Let's talk about the one thing that none of you like to do, and that's sell. Does that resonate with you guys? I'm going to share with you today the number one thing that keeps people from selling more of their stuff, whatever it is that you want people to buy from you. Do you want them to buy a product from you? Do you want them to buy into your business opportunity? If you've got other things that you sell, like what is it that you do? And what's the number one thing that holds people back from, selling more? And then I want to give you 5 tips to help you think about some things you can do to actually sell more, some things that you might need to do or you might need to work on to help you with this process. Does that sound cool, guys? You ready for that today? So I hope you're doing really well. If we haven't met before, my name is Helen Martin and welcome to our online crew. We have the most amazing online crew here, which is a community of people that are either entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, direct sellers, network marketing, those in MLM, and you want to leverage social media to bring your business online and build through social media. No more chasing sort of family and friends. You don't have to do that. You can do it in a way that is attracting people to you. So that's what I'm all about. I don't want to pressure anybody to buy anything off me, or feel that, that they feel pressured by me to join me in my business. I'm in the trenches with you guys. I'm building a global team, network marketing team, around the world. I'm in health and wellness. That's my business. But also, obviously, I help you guys build your businesses. So everything I talk about here, I am doing, testing, trialing, evaluating myself. And the things that are working in my business, I will share with you. And the things that are not working in my business, I will also share with you. Okay? So how is everybody today? Let me just say a quick hello to those that are here. We've got Emma here. How are you? Anybody looking like that, it just means you're watching from my group. So I'm broadcasting in 3 different places on my business page, so I'll be able to see all of you. YouTube, I'm broadcasting live there, and also in my free group, Social Media Strategies for Home Business Owners. So anybody's welcome to join that group. It's free. So you do need to click the link at the bottom of the description of this video in the group that says streamyard.com/Facebook. Just do that and then I can see who you are. Hello, Melvet. How are you? Hello, Laurie. Good to see you on. We've got Debbie here as well. We've got Cherie. We've got Beth. We've got Sheila. We've got Terry on the treadmill listening. That's a good use of multitasking. That's probably the only time that I recommend multitasking, guys, is when you're exercising, you're doing the vacuuming, you're doing something, as long as you don't fall over, Terry. I have been known to do that. When I do things on the computer on my phone and I'm walking on the treadmill, sometimes you lose balance, so don't do that. But that is a good time to sort of listen to some training, as when you're doing something useless or you're driving, in a car. Not that I'm saying walking on the treadmill is useless. Don't take that the wrong way. I mean mindless. Other than that, don't multitask because it's really bad for you and you think you're really busy and you're doing lots of stuff and you're just actually being really effective. Conversation for another day. Squirrel moment. Okay, so a couple of reminders before we go on to it. Who's on Clubhouse and who's not on Clubhouse? Because you guys are missing out. Myself and my VIP students, we get together once a week, every week, and we are sharing the goods, guys. We are giving you amazing tips on different topics related to how to build a business on social media, and a lot of you are missing out on that. So every week, every Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, 11:30 p.m. UK, 8 a.m. South Australian time, every week we're going live on Clubhouse sharing a different topic with you guys about how to build successfully on social media. So if you're on Clubhouse, then look out for the notification on my page, on my personal profile. I put it everywhere the day before, a couple of days before, and you just got to click a link and hook into it. Those of you that are not on Clubhouse, you need to be invited to the platform by somebody that's already on the platform. That's how it works. You need to work out whether you can download the app to start with. So you go to your app store, whatever phone that you're using, but Android users are now allowed on Clubhouse. Okay, so get yourself on the platform, find somebody. There's heaps of people watching that have got invites. They're probably already putting it in the comments section. Reach out and look in the comments section as to who has got spare invites. Get yourself on the platform and turn up once a week to that training because you're missing out on some gold information. Those of you in my current round of the video challenge, I did a video just earlier. It's video 11. please go and watch it. Some important updates, some things that I needed to share with you. So make sure you're following guide 3 where it says Helen's videos, and you're keeping up with my videos. It's not very long, but it's really important. So video challenges, go and check that out. Those of you that are in my coaching community, we had the most awesome live Q&A Zoom call yesterday. We talked heaps about Instagram and just so many other things about building a business online. So those of you in my coaching community, if you've missed that call, go and watch the recording that's sitting in the group right now. Those of you in UK, Germany that are in my coaching community, your call is on Friday. So don't miss that call. It's your opportunity to ask me whatever is going on in your business. What are you struggling with? What do you need help with? What's not working? We can get on a Zoom call and I can give you free coaching. Okay, so if you're not a member of my coaching community, you absolutely should be. You can get in for $1, guys. Have a look around. Work if you want to stay, and if you want to stay, it's only 29 bucks to stay for a month. You can come and go when you please. Go and absorb all my content and leave. I don't care. Just up your game, guys, and learn the practical social media skills. Stop learning and not taking the action. You've got to take action to be successful online. That's what it comes down to. Action, action, action. Okay, so let's get on to the topic for today. What do you think, guys? What do you think the number one reason is that people are not selling as much as they want to? What do you think that is? I'd love to know what you think your biggest obstacle is, and there could be lots of them. I'm sure there's lots of different things that you guys think is the number one thing, but there is lots of different things. It's not just one thing, but there's one main thing. So I'd love to know your thoughts around that. Like, what do you think is one of the main reasons that holds you back from selling more of your stuff, whether that's products or people into your team or whatever it is that you're selling? I'd love to know. Okay, and Melvet got it spot on. It is fear. It is fear. And it comes from this. They're not asking. The number one thing, fear, fear, fear. You guys are spot on. The number one reason that people don't sell as much as they want to is you're not asking for it. You're not letting people know what you do. You're not even letting people know what you offer. And where does that come from? Deep rooted, it's fear. Now, don't go anywhere because I want to give you 5 things to think about, okay, in relation to this. And how do you get better at this? Because there's some strategy around this to help you get better at it. But that's the number one reason, is because you're not asking for it. And what's the reason that you're not asking for it? Is because you're too fearful. Oh, I don't want to be seen like one of those spammy persons. I don't want to be. You're so worried about what people think of you. You're so worried about, oh, I don't want to be seen as one of those people in the industry that, but there are ways and means around how to ask respectfully, how to ask in attraction marketing way. But whether you're doing it organically or paid or attraction marketing or whatever your strategy is, or whether it's a personal profile, a group or a business page, you got to ask for the sale, guys. Because you're going to sit back and get left behind. Other people are going to get the customers that you could have. Other people are going to join up teammates that you've already talked to. Because you're not asking people enough questions. You're not letting people know clearly enough how you can help them. So they don't know. They don't know. But somebody else who is more forthright and having a better conversation, they're going to get the sale. They're going to get the teammate. And you're going to sit back and go, I wish that was me. Okay? The other thing behind the fear, and this is a big one, guys, and I got... I had a call with one of my mentors yesterday who I admire dearly, and he's asked me to help him with a training on the weekend. So I'm going to do that for him. And we were having a conversation about my business and where I'm at. And he was asking, like, well, what's your next goal and what's your next dream and what's your next vision and whatever. And I had such a good year last year. Like, a lot of my language was around, I'd love to be able to maintain, what I did last year and sort of keep up that momentum. And he, picked up on my language straight away. And he said, Helen, if you just want to maintain, that's all you're going to do. You're not going to grow. Listen to your language. And I'm like, oh, he's right. Is like, what's your financial goal? And, how often do you tell yourself that? He said, when you've got that vision, and we went back into the past and he said, what was your vision like a couple of years ago? And, it was like, for me, it was like, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Like, I truly believed to my core that I was going to achieve what I wanted to achieve. And I've done that. But what he picked up in my language is that you're just going to self-sabotage or stay where you are. You're not going to grow to new heights unless you now lift your game and think about other things and have different vision and whatever. He said the universe will put things in front of you, and you guys would have heard this before. And I know this stuff. It's really weird, guys, isn't it? When you know a lot of stuff and when somebody says it, like I say it to you, you already know it, but you're not putting it in practice, or you don't do it for yourself, or you don't dream big enough. Those kind of things. So I taught a valuable lesson yesterday from my mentor about thinking a lot bigger. And I think a lot of us restrict ourselves because we've never been there before. So last year financially, I went somewhere I've never been before, like multiple six figures. Even when I was in the corporate world, it was six figures, but it wasn't multiple six figures. So his way of thinking and inspiration is no, multiple six figures. But it comes down to us to sort of have that vision. So interesting and great conversation for me to have and reassess, and I would encourage you to do the same. Here's a kicker in all of this. And those of you in my coaching community, I've got a boot camp which talks about, the fears of this industry, particularly, network marketing, direct sales, MLM, and whatever. Go through that boot camp, guys, to get rid of your blocks, because a lot of you don't even realize consciously you've got issues with money because you've always struggled with money. And when you've got financial blocks and you've never had a lot of money before, it's hard for you to see or accept or know to your core that you're going to make a lot of money because it's never happened before. What happens subconsciously if we don't tell ourselves otherwise and believe to the core that we're going to make a lot of money? Guys, you'll never make a lot of money. The only difference between somebody that's making a lot of money and you, if you're not making a lot of money, is their relationship with money. They believe there's an abundance. Unfortunately, we live in a world of scarcity and, lack. People lack things. They lack, they lack an amazing life. They lack money. They lack opportunity. They lack, and money is scarce. People are, the way they think is, when you look at money, you probably, where's my ripped up dollar bill? Did I finally get rid of that here? Yeah, it's not here. Do you remember that, guys? For those of you that were on that video where I ripped up an American dollar bill. Anyway, when you look at money and do you say to yourself, there's plenty of where that came from? Is that how you think about money? Or when you get money, do you hang on to it and it's like, oh, I've got to save that because I've got this expense coming up and that expense coming up. And I know I've got another bill or a tax bill or something coming up. So I've got to hold on to that money because that's all I got. I don't have any money. Do you know how many comments I see from people that want my training and say, does it cost anything because I don't have any money? Oh, that person is never going to be wealthy. Because it's a scarcity and a lack around money. All I've got is this and I don't have any of it and I can't spend any of it. I've invested in things I haven't been able to afford. You just find a way, guys. It's the only way you grow and really think to new heights. But it's a mental game. It's a massive mental game as to your relationship with money. And I guarantee you, if your mum and dad struggled for money, if you grew up struggling with, with money issues and there was always a lack of money, in your household, your children will grow up with a scarcity mindset around money. You will probably find it hard to make a lot of money because your subconscious will bring you back to that level and money is scarce. So you got to really work on your mindset around money, because when you believe there's an abundance of money, you won't worry about asking somebody for the sale. There won't be a fear behind it. The other thing is the belief in what you're actually doing and actually believing that the business that you're in is going to afford you an amazing, amount of wealth. Do you believe that, guys? If you don't, you're never going to be really successful because your subconscious mind will always pull you back. Even if you get some success, you'll go backwards. And that's what my mentor was saying to me yesterday. He said, Helen, if you're not careful, you're just going to maintain and then you'll go backwards because you're not thinking big enough. He said, you thought big enough before and you believe, so take yourself to new heights because you're capable. Sometimes you just need somebody else to believe in you a little bit more than you believe in yourself, including me, guys. And there's people in my VIP mentorship program. I believe in them more than they believe in themselves. There's a number of them in there. They just haven't brought themselves to those heights where they actually truly believe that, like, they need to believe it for themselves. I can't do that for them. So they distract themselves. Like a lot of you would do this. You distract yourself with activities that are not income producing or working on the right things to actually truly believe that you are going to be successful with a time frame and goals and planning and all that kind of stuff. Am I making sense, guys? Okay. So I'll go back to your oh, Gabor, I know that, buddy. I get it, but we do have to pay our bills. I get it, but when you pay your bills, you should have an abundant mindset around money. There's plenty of more money to come for you to pay your bills. So you don't want to revert back to that. You don't want to think, well, I've got this money and that's all I've got to do to pay my bills. It's just a mindset. There is money everywhere. And this was fascinating to me, what I'm just about to tell you. I don't watch TV, okay? But I sat down next to Ollie. I got home late. I don't even know what I was doing, and he had the TV on. And he wasn't even watching the TV. He had his computer on his lap and he was watching something on YouTube. And I looked up and it was Grant Cardone. Do any of you guys know who that is? He's a billionaire. And teaches a lot of people about, how to build successfully online and just how to build a successful business, not necessarily just online, but, business building, scaling and stuff like that. He is very full on. I opted into one of his things a number of months back and I had to actually unsubscribe because it was just too full on for me. So he's just one of those characters that's got a lot of, grit, but he's amazing in so many ways. Anyway, this show that was on the TV, have you guys seen it? I've never seen it before. It was on a Foxtel channel. I don't know if that means anything to you guys overseas, but not free-to-air TV here in Australia. Anyway, that's a squirrel moment. But it was called. The show is called Undercover Billionaire, and the whole show, the premise of the show, does anybody know it? Is there were 3 billionaires, and they gave them $100. A mobile phone and put them in a city where nobody knew who they were, like completely different to where they live and where they've got their profile and influence, and they're not allowed to touch their own money. So $100, a mobile phone, and they are tasked with being able to build $1 million business in 90 days from nothing. So the story of this, I got fascinated with it because these people, they actually have to literally ask somebody to put them up for the night, like a stranger. Like they land in this town, they just got plucked out of, like a town out of nowhere, go under a disguised name where people don't know who their real identity is. So they don't know that he's a billionaire. They just think he's an ordinary guy. And all 3 of them built $1 million businesses in 90 days. Now, I know those people that have already that did that. They've already got skills that perhaps you and I don't have. But what does that tell you about the mindset of somebody that just knows to the core that whatever they do is going to be successful? So I'm not talking like a $100,000 business, $1 million business in 90 days. And I got fixated with this and going, that's so fascinating because a lot of that is up here. They just knew to use their connections and find ways because they're resourceful. That's what entrepreneurs do. They find mentors and they find people to work with, and they just figure it out. How much are you figuring it out? Or how much are you just waiting for somebody to tell you what to do? And you don't think your mentor or your upline is supporting you enough because they're not telling you or guiding you what to do. If there's one thing I've learned about this entrepreneurial journey, if it is to be, it's up to me. I'm the driver. I do the work. I tune it up and do the live videos. Yes, I do trainings at 2:30 in the morning and all of that kind of stuff. And, yes, I overload myself sometimes, but is the journey worth it? Abso-freaking-lutely. But don't rely on anybody else to help you make you successful. Go out and have the drive and the passion and believe, guys. Believe that you can do it. So here's the 5 things I want you to concentrate on. Actually, let me rephrase that. You guys can do whatever it is that you want to do. But who here listening or catching the replay wants to have some good success in their life and wants to have some financial freedom for themselves and their family? Like you've got things that you want to do. When you're allowed to travel, you might want to travel. You might want to live in a bigger house. You might want to buy a car that doesn't break down every 3 months. Like what is it that you guys want? Do you want for something more than what you have right now? If that's you, listen, okay? Number one, first thing you got to work on is you. I'm not sugarcoating that. I talk about this, that once a week out of the 4 or 5 videos I do a week. You got to work on your mindset issue and believing that you could be successful. If you don't have that, you have nothing. Honestly, if you don't have that, you have nothing. Even aside from the number 2 thing, which is your money mindset, just you believing that you can do it to the core. And I'm not talking about you telling yourself, yes, I can be successful. It's like in the pit of your stomach. You feel it. You actually feel that success is coming. You can feel the big team that you want to lead. You can see the team that you're going to walk across the stage with. You can actually feel and see, and that's in your core. That's what you want to get to. If you don't have that, you got some work to do with things like affirmations and meditation, like whatever works for you. Everyone's got their own little thing, but you need to work on you first before you're ever going to be successful. Because if you don't have it going on here and you don't believe, it'll never, ever happen for you. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the mindset around money and your money beliefs. And whatever's happened to you in the past, it doesn't define your future financially. We're all born with the opportunity to be wealthy. What's holding you back is probably what's happened in your past. What's holding you back is probably, how maybe you were brought up. And maybe you've always been brought up and you've gone years and years and years and years and years with a struggle. So if that's your journey, you have to do a lot of work to turn that around. Go, that doesn't define me. I am worthy and I am deserving. That's how I start off my morning and my night. When I go to bed, I am worthy and I am deserving of, and then I've got my mantra that I say to myself regarding my income goals, my business goals, my team, what I want for them, because it's not just about me. This is bigger than me. This is, when you got a team, you want them to win. That's really important to me. My coaching community and all the people that I'm helping with the practical train, like I've got goals and visions for those people, as well. And then there's my family and my boys and my husband and my relationship with them and how we move through life. And then there's me and my health and, my weight and all the things that are important to me health-wise. I've got a very strong very close, strong family history of cancer and things like that. So it's very important that, that's on my radar. And, you're doing the right checks and, doing things like that. So it's a combination of things that you need to be focusing on, from health to finances to belief to all those kind of things. So number 1 is working on you. Number 2 is working on your money mindset. Those of you in the coaching community, if you still believe that you've got issues around money, please go back to the boot camp and rewatch it. That talks about the managing the fears and emotions of this industry, because you'll never make a lot of money when you don't actually believe it to be true, because you've never had it before, which is a very normal thing. Like that's not wrong if that's where you sit. It's just you find it really hard to think that you can be really wealthy because no one in your family ever has, or you haven't. So, my mentor was saying to me yesterday something really interesting. He said that, the mindset between people that have, made money and lost it. There may be people that you know of, maybe gurus that you follow, that have lost a lot of money, but they bounce back and suddenly they're making a lot of money again. It's because when they're in that moment of having no money, that's not how they see themselves. They don't actually see themselves as somebody with no money. They actually still see themselves as somebody who's successful and can get themselves out of that situation quite quickly. So people, that take more risks and, invest in things, and maybe the investment went bad, but then suddenly they're doing something else and then they're successful again. Do you know those kind of people? It's because when they're in the bottom of the barrel, they don't see themselves as that kind of person. They've still got the vision and the dreams and the drive and all the rest of it. So they just get themselves back up again because that's what they believe to be true. Okay, really important. Number 3 with selling particularly is you've got to bridge the gap between what you've got to offer and the sale. So one of the things with selling is, yes, you're too afraid to ask for it, but at what stage are you asking for it? And bridge that gap between, awareness and sale. So what I mean by that is, what are you doing? What value are you giving? Are you doing live videos? Do you have any lead magnets? What I mean by lead magnets is like little freebies that people can opt into, or just reach out to you in Messenger, and you're giving away stuff for free all the time, but it's on the niche little area that you're selling stuff. So you're bridging the gap, you're building the influence, you're building the trust, you're building the authority in the thing that you're selling, so the sale is easier at the end and you can ask for it easier than if you're not bridging the gap. You've got to have a process of bridging the gap. So free stuff, valuable stuff, maybe free giveaways, and then get to the sale. Like, what's your funnel? How are you bridging your gap between nothing to a sale? Have a think about that, what you're doing and what you're providing out there to build your influence, build the trust and whatever, so you can bridge the gap between going from nothing to the sale. There's multiple exposures, because people need that these days, guys. Multiple exposures before you can get to the sale. So work out what your funnel is for bridging the gap. Number 4, you absolutely want to be more visible. People will buy your stuff when they see that you're more visible, you're giving more training, you're showing up everywhere. Get really good at repurposing one piece of content. Take a live video and chop it up and put it in Instagram TV. Then put it in your stories, on Instagram, and repurpose the crap out of it and send it out in an email. And then if you're doing blogging, put it in a blog. I know that might be advanced for a lot of you, but this is the way you want to think with visibility. The more visible you are, you know this with the people that you follow. The people that you follow that have got more followers than you, that are more visible than you, they're selling more stuff than you, aren't they? It's only because they've earned the right and they've shown up more and they're more visible and they've got more followers. So if you want to sell more stuff, where are you making yourself visible? If you don't have an amazing warm market to tap into and you've got an incredible network of friends that hang off every word that you say, do it on social media. But you've got to earn the right to get the sale from social media. So show up, do it often, be consistent, all those kind of things you already know. Am I making sense? Okay. That's number 4. Number 5, to get the sale, lead with curiosity first and don't be that direct with asking for the sale. So yes, I said to you in the beginning, it's a fear because people are afraid to ask for the sale. You got to bridge the gap before you ask for the sale. Some people bridge the gap and still never ask for the sale. You got to lead with curiosity and value. So curiosity-based posts that point out a problem and you've got a solution. And then when they get that, you can ask for the sale because they're already aware of what you do. So those of you in the coaching community, please go back and watch my training regarding 1, the recruiting funnel, the 2 weeks worth of training that I went through to take people through a recruiting funnel, and last week's training of how to craft a curiosity post to point out the problem and then the solution, so you're bridging that gap so then you can ask for the sale. Okay, it makes the sale easier at the end when you're bridging the gap and you're creating curiosity and you've got more visibility, and it all meshes in together to help you get the sale at the end. And then you've got posture. You got posture at the end of the day to go and ask for the sale. When you got more visibility, you're giving heaps of value, to the core that what you've got is really good, you can help people, all that kind of stuff. Then you can go and ask for the sale. Okay, so have a think about those things regarding what you can go and do. So I would love you to take away some kind of action for yourself. Is it your mindset? Is it your money mindset? Is it you're not letting enough people know what it is you do? There's no bridge. There's no gap between approaching somebody and then asking for the sale. So what can you do in upping your game? And whether it's live video or whether it's lead magnets, like little PDFs with helpful tips for somebody on something, you can create that stuff easier than you think. Canva is a beautiful tool. It's free. You can create them, no problems at all. You get on a live video and say, I've created this awesome resource. If you'd like to get your hands on that, message me. If you're doing email marketing, then you could add into that step and then start building an email list, because that's the only thing you own. You don't own social media. You don't own Facebook. You don't own TikTok. You don't own Instagram, but you do own an email list. So for those of you that are at that stage in your business, you would want to incorporate that to start building an email list. Okay. So different levels of options depending on where you are in your business. Okay. So I've talked long enough. Have a think about that, but have a think about you, your mindset on, what you truly believe to be true to you, and up your game with your affirmations, your visualization, like all those things that help you build more belief in yourself, especially around money. Money is everywhere. And there's plenty of it around for you. You've just got to go and make it happen for you, because no one can make it happen for you. You're the one in the driver's seat. Okay. Food for thought. Take it for what you will. And I will see you guys tomorrow, same time. Bye.